Yeah, so hello everyone, and today we are going to discuss the topic of percentages. I hope that you would have completed this as per your syllabus. I don't know where you are, but yeah, I guess you would have completed it. And if not, it would be a quick overview and a complete summary, or you would say a one-stop revision point for this chapter. So yeah, let's begin. First of all, I'll just quickly sum up what is percentages. As you could see, it's per, that's by, and cent 100, right? That is by 100. It just clearly states that percentages. That is division in equal parts, right? So I hope you all know what's division in equal parts. Just a joke, sorry. So yeah, it just simply states that it's dividing everything in 100 equal parts. You could say it's like yeah, it's like dividing something in parts. Obviously it's dividing 100 3 parts, 2 parts, or whatever, but yeah, whenever we are talking about percentages, it's generally 100, dividing anything in 100 parts. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, similarly, if we come to this, like, similarly, if we deal with 20% of 500, right? So it means we have to put 500, divide 500 in 100 parts, 100 equal parts, mention 100 equal parts, and then to choose 20 parts among that 100 part, right? I hope that's clear for you. So yeah, here's just it's not formula. I hope you can understand it. It's not anything to be remembered in it, right? It could be easily understood. You just need to have a basic understanding of what percentage is. So yeah, it works like this. As you know, it's by 100, right? So obviously 20 by 100 into that whatever the value it is, which we have to divide. So yeah, it's 20 by 100 into 500. So it just completes up with the summary of what I mean, just what the actual thing is about to say, right? So yeah, here we come with yeah, these are the things which I just I just focus on remembering, because at the time of calculation it's better to, obviously you have a choice to depend on tricks, but yeah, if you remember some tricks, I just suggest you to remember these things also. So obviously, and one more thing, this is not the complete thing to be remembered. You should remember more, and what it is I'll just explain in a while. So that is yeah, here it is. Everyone knows that 1 by 2 is 500, right? 1 by 4, again, it's what, 25%. Similarly 1 by 8, 12.5. Similarly 1.60. Now here here the catch is, if you remember this, right, you could easily recall something else, yeah, if you remember what is 12.5, so anything will be a multiple of 12.5, like what I can say, if multiplied by 3, we'll get we used to get, right, what we used to get, just a second, 3, 6, 7, yeah, that we used to get 37.5, right? 37.5%. So if any question asks about 37.5%, we could directly jump it to 12.5, and just by multiplying with with 3, I hope you can understand, right? If a question is dealing with 37.5%, you need not to calculate 37 by 100. You could just directly write it as 3 by 8. I hope you're understanding, right, what I'm trying to say. So that's it how it deals. So remembering these all helps you in many stages. So if you remember this 12.5, it does not help you with that, it also help you with 37.5, and similarly many others. And I even request you to remember this, what it is called, 1 by 11. I'm sorry that I forgot to write, but yeah, 1 by 11 is 9.09%. So it could be very much useful for calculating the values, like 27.27%, what it is, it's just 3 by 11. I hope you're getting right. So yeah, that it is. And another thing is, yeah, similarly 1 by 300, that's 33%, and again you could just calculate, so on. And yeah, if you know these two prime, value of these two prime calculated values, so yeah, you could also calculate 1 by 6. I hope you understand, right? 1 by 2 of 1 by 3. So here we know that it is 33.33%. So you just need to divide it by 2. So yeah, so you could just directly get to what it is, 16.6. So I just would suggest is that remembering such small details help you to grasp the question very quickly and comprehend it well, and that's the key here, right? So that's why I just simply suggest you to remember such things and such concepts, which would be useful. So yeah, that's it. And another thing, yeah, now just quickly dive into the concept part, and here I'll be explaining you how that's more useful, right? So now, first of all, the language. I'm pretty sure that everyone would be thorough with the languages, but yeah, just for a quick overview, that's it. And yeah, here we go. First of all, of, more than, less than, this is the prime things which we have to remember, right? And another thing is like x, that x is what percent of y. So yeah, as how it states, like y, of y. So it just simply means that you have to mostly, of, then these words are mostly attached to the base value. I hope you are getting what's the base value, right? So by the word base value, I mean the value which is on which we are dealing. So in this question, 500 is the base value, right? So yeah, that's how it all works. And I hope you got the concept of y in there. It's not even that I mean, it's not even that hyper whatever. Nothing is not. I mean, it's just a common point. So yeah, x is what percent of y. It's just a clear statement. I hope everyone knows, right? And obviously, if you don't know, I'm pretty sure it's very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for you, friend. So yeah, although you can do it. It's nothing. I'm not demotivating you or such. But yeah, you have to work a bit hard. Now it's the thing is like x is what percent of. I mean, what percent less than y? Yeah, here it comes a concept like x is what percent less than y. Now here you have to understand. I mean, percentages x and y. Just a second. I would suggest you to start it with here, right? First of all, remembering this thing, that yeah. First of all, remembering with this thing also, like percent 100, right? So if you have to find percent, so it just simply means that you have to multiply it with 100, and if it's given, right, something has been asked, like what's the new value or what's the old value or what's the initial value, whatever it is, then the question is probably asking you to divide. It works almost all the times, and it's not any trick, but yeah, it's just if this thing has, I mean, if this thing gets in your mind, so you'll have just a quick subconscious way of thinking. So whenever anything comes to you, you'll just quickly multiply or divide it without thinking, I mean, without any wasting any second to think that, oh yeah, this or that formula. No, you just quickly dive into it, right? If you have to find, then quickly let's just multiply, and if it's given, so just quickly divide it. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sorry if this video gets a bit long, I mean a bit lengthy, but I don't know. Yeah, so here we come again, right? So here x is what percent less than y. So if we deal with that, x is y what percent less than y, it's just simply I mean, it's just simply is talking about the difference. I mean, difference between x and y, right? So what percent less, this statement only, what percent less, clearly states that y is y is the greater number, right? So I hope that you understand. We generally does not calculate percentages in negative, right? It's just obviously it's less than 100, then obviously it's just the value is being decreased. So that's not, we doesn't put a minus sign. So yeah, although you could use a mod symbol if you're a mathematics student, so it doesn't bother you, but yeah, for a general way of understanding, I hope you got that y is a greater number, so hence we'll do this. I mean, y minus x by y because y, y is the base value, right? So y is the base value. It simply means here, I mean, of the mostly, yeah. So here it comes, and multiplying it with 100 for this concept, I mean dividing it in 100 equal parts. So yeah, here it all goes, and x is what percent more than z. So x is what percent more than z. Here it's also the similar, that x is what percent more than z. So here you understand that x is the greater value because x is more, right? X is more than z. Obviously, then x is a greater value. So we'll do that, x subtract x. I mean subtract z from x, and and we'll divide it with z because than z, right? Percent more than z, right? So obviously again with this concept of then, it just mostly indicates with this value. So yeah, I mean this slide is going to help you a lot if you, I mean, if you have to just calculate it a bit quick. So yeah, here it comes, and obviously the other thing, I mean, multiplied with 100. I hope you noticed, right? In both of the questions, we were asked to find we were asked to find the percentage, right? So we have to multiply this. I mean, here it just defines, right? You'll probably also get used to it when you'll solve more and more questions, keeping this point remembered. I mean, this point in your head. So yeah, and here is also, I don't know whether to categorize it in tricks or concept, but yeah, if you'll combine ratios concept with this percentages, then your performance is definitely going to be boosted up. I don't know whether you are applying this method, trick, whatever you say till date or not, but yeah, if you do this, obviously it's going to enhance your performance at a very what you could say, at a very magical level. Yeah, so here we go, that a is 20% of b, right? So it just simply means you could calculate it, right? You could just quickly calculate it by this, everyone knows, right? But here other things come, right? A by b is 1 by 5. That's the ratio part. Now remember this also, right? 1 by 5 is a multiplying factor. Now what's multiplying factor? If you don't know, then multiplying factor is that factor if it's multiplied, that factor, I mean that quantity, right? If that quantity is multiplied, I'm talking about 1 by 5. If that quantity is anyhow multiplied with the old or original value, then we get we get that required value, or the value which we require. So yeah, here is how it works. So you should just remember the multiplying factor and ratio part. It would be useful if you're solving questions, and if you want questions on these topics, or you want it to be explained in a bit deep manner, so just comment down below, and yeah, only if there are 5 comments, I'll definitely make a separate video on it. So 5 videos, nothing much, right? 5 comments are nothing much. So yeah, so here are the 2 things, and yeah, here's the another thing. It's not another thing, but yeah, it's just another example that x is 20% of y, right? So x is equal to 1 plus 1 by 5. 1 plus 1 by 5. It's because 20% more than. So it clearly means that 20% has been increased, right? There is an increase of 20% in y. I hope you're getting my point, right? There is an increase in 20%. There is an increase of 20% in y, right? So if we deal it with if we deal it like that, so here we'll get the multiplying factor as 6 by 5. So if you get this factor, it would be useful. And where it would be useful, I'm just going to explain you in the same video itself. So just stay tuned and you'll get all your answers, right? So just a second, let me erase this. Yeah. Now after, I just advise you to keep all this concept in your head and just quickly move to the tricks. So yeah, when you are in the tricks portion, listen, there are many tricks, right? Or you also know that if you Google it, you'll get bunch of tricks. But obviously the same line I'm going to repeat. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, you need not to, my friend, remember every trick, because eventually you will forget at the time of your examination. So what's the point of remembering all those tricks? I simply advise you to connect the chapters, like just I did with combining it with ratios, right? And remembering most probably one or two such tricks which could be applied in almost all the topics. Hence it would become easier for you to deal, right? So yeah, if it happens, so let's just continue with it. And yeah, it's the trick here that plus minus, this trick is applicable for addition, subtraction and multiplication, division. It's two parts, it's divided in two parts, a whole. Like first of all, we'll be dealing with this multiplication and division one. And yeah, for example, if it's given to you that there's an increase in length, there is like X% increase in length and L. Here we are just writing a formula of what you could say area of a rectangle. Just for a base example, obviously everyone knows that it's never going to it's never going to be asked in your exam, but yeah, then even just for a rough example, like if there is a certain just a there's an increase of X%. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, there is an increase in X% of length, right? The length is increased by X% and even breadth is increased by Y%. So you have to calculate what percent of increase in its area. So you just you could just use a traditional method by solving it step by step, putting all the values and then comparing with the initial area with the new area, right? But I hope you could understand that the question is directly asking for the percent, right? So, or even if the question is asking for the new area, that's even not a big deal, because obviously if you know the percent, so it would be easier for you, right? And here we are not even talking about percentage. Here we are talking about the multiplying factor, so it's more easy for you if you get it. For example, if I'll just show you here, if you know that multiplying factor is 1 by 5, right? So and the initial value is 5. So to get the value of A, you just need to multiply 1 by 5 with B. So I don't think there's a much thing to do. So multiplying factor is a very awesome concept. It's just amazing. Yeah. So here we are dealing with it, right? So it just simply works like this. It's just like the formula. So it's just like the same formula as repeated. There will be changes. I'll just explain you in a while. Like multiplying factor of area would be equal to multiplying, the product of multiplying factor of length with the multiplying factor of breadth. So yeah, here it goes. And now the other thing is that if you say that it's given that area has decreased by this, area has decreased by this percent and length is increased by this percent, what is the effect on B, right? Then you could just simply modify the formula as per your needs. And I suggest you by doing it with that's multiplying factor of B equals to multiplying factor of A by multiplying factor of L. I hope you're getting my point, right? So now as you get the multiplying factor of B, you could easily calculate the value of B with the help of this, right? So it's a very useful concept of multiplying factor. So you just need to remember it. And with this trick, yeah, you're just learning to avoid the traditional method. So I hope that sums up with this part. And with the same with this same trick, technique, whatever you call it as, here we also have a problem like it generally happens with what you could say, that salary problem, right? Initially his salary was this, after certain time it increased X% and became this, and then it decreased or increased this percent and became this. What's the total change? All right, and most of the time it's asked that what's the total change. No, sorry for that awkward song, but yeah, it happens like this. Sorry, excuse me. And yeah, so obviously there's a traditional approach related to it. You could even use it because yeah, traditional approaches are they're the base concept, right? They're based on the base concept, so they're never fail. But yeah, I even assure you that the concept of multiplying factor does not even fails, because it's just based on that actual what you could say actual formulas, right? So it never fails. And yeah, so the traditional approach for these questions would be like this. I hope you know the formula, and if don't, then just I'm explaining it in just a minute. Yeah, it's like plus minus x. It's very awkward to say, right? So just let me be clear with the sign convention, that plus it indicates with the increase, right? So as you could see here is an increase of x%, right? So here we'll be writing that plus x, and there's a decrease in y. So here we'll be using, for this question properly, here we'll be using the minus y, because obviously that plus is for increase and minus is for decrease. It's just the sign convention for the formula so that you could use it almost everywhere. So yeah, so here's plus minus x plus minus y plus into that. So it would directly give you the percentage change. Like listen me very carefully, that it would give you directly the percentage change from initial value to the final value, right? You'll just directly get a percentage change. So yeah, that's even a good formula, but yeah, in most of the cases it won't work. You would be given with the concepts like, you would be given with the percentages like 27.87 or 33.33. How you're going to deal? You have to multiply with them and then divide. It's very difficult, right? It becomes handy for the questions like in which you have to deal with 60%, 40%. Sorry, just excuse me for a while. Yeah. So what I was saying is that, it's very useful for the question in which values are like 60%, 40% and the related. So yeah, it becomes very useful. But if the question has a bit complex percentages, so it becomes very difficult to solve with this. But as we remember this, right? I'm just asking you that as we remember this, that if it's given 33%, we could directly replace it with 1 by 3, right? 16.66 we could just 1 by 6, and many others that you have to find and learn it yourself. And if not, then just comment me down. I'll make a separate video on explaining almost possible important, or whatever you could say, important these conversion or whatever, for your sake of knowledge. So yeah, you could just directly switch here to here, right? So using that transition along with the multiplying factor, you could just directly solve the questions. Yeah, obviously I just suggest you to use multiplying factor method. So for example, here is the question, right? I'll advise you to attempt this question with the traditional method first and then come to the multiplying factor method. And if you are just used to with the multiplying factor methods, then you are just playing at a good pace, man. So yeah, here's the question, like Bibha's salary was increased by 20% and later increased by 20%. Decreased by 20% and then increased by 20%. How much percent does he lose? I guess Bibha's is the girl's name, right? I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah, let's come back to the question. So first of all, there is a decrease of 20%. So when we are talking of, just a second, let me set the pencil. Yeah. So now, as per the given question, first of all, Bibha's salary was decreased. Sorry, once again. Bibha's salary was first decreased by 20%, and then increased by 20%. And our question is to find that how much percentage does he lose. Here it's stated that it's lose. So obviously if it's not even stated, you could figure it out whether it's loss or gain. So yeah, so now you could use this technique here. You could use it minus 20 plus 20, it becomes 0, and plus 20 minus 20, it's 400 by 100, it becomes minus 4. So obviously you could see that here it's coming to be minus 4%. Minus 4, it means just clearly that here it's indicating that it has been decreased by 4%. I hope you remember the sign sorry for that. Yeah, I hope you remember that these sign conversion. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so you could use it with here, but if the question would have given a bit complex value, then it would have been much more easier by going with the multiplying factor method. Like let's say initial into it has decreased to 20%, right? So in decreased 20%, it means 20 just clearly indicates by 20 by 100, it just clearly indicates what, 1 by 5, right? So multiplying factor for decrease in 1 by 5 would be 4 by 5. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say, right? So 4 by 5, and for the increase in 20%, it would be like 6 by 5. So yeah, you could just directly figure it out what they're trying to say, like 24 by 5 of 25. Now you could just simply calculate it with 100 and whatever, but that's not advice. It's the multiplying factor, right? So it's that factor which is multiplied with the number to get the value. So there is some increase and decrease, right? So you just need to do one more step to get to your percentage thing. That's, you need to subtract 24 from 25. This is done, but 25 is as it is, and then multiplied with 100. I hope you remember one more thing. Multiplying it with 100, the value, the indication for multiplying with 400, it's because you have to find, you have to multiply with 100. So yeah, here you go, and when you'll solve it, you'll get minus 4 as a value. So it's not minus 4, it's 4% decreased, right? So it works like this, and yeah, it works like this. And now I hope we are done with this. And yeah, if you want more question or any more explanation, you could just comment me down. I'll just reply to it then and there, or I'll make a separate video on it. So yeah, if you'll come here it's like the difference between 45% of number and 3/4 of that number is 18, right? The difference between, if the difference between 45% of a number and 3/4 of that number is 18, what is the number? If you are reading this question, I'll just advise you to pause this video for a second and then play it back after solving this with your traditional approach or whatever you feel like. Now I hope you would have done that. And now just jump into the tricked solution. It's simply advising that 3/5. Now again, it's using that concept, a remembered concept, right? 3/5. As we know that 1/5 is for 20, right? So if we know 1/5 is for 20, so just multiplying it with 3, it gives 60. So here we could directly jump it to 60%. So here, if we know it's talking about 60%, so we need not to calculate the value. We could just directly use 45 minus 60, and that's give 50%, right? And here it's stated that 50% is 18. As you could see in the question, the difference is 18. So yeah, the question states that 50% is 18, and we do not know what's the value. So if the 15% of f anything, right, x or y, is 18, then that x equals to 120. I hope you're getting me, right? So it becomes that simple if you remember all these things. Like you remember these things and the method of combining it with ratio. It becomes so simple. But yeah, you need to put various things in your head, as obviously you're going to face a competition. So you need to have you need to train your mind, which could adapt to all these things. So there are some more questions which will just engage you with what you could say, with all these concepts and make you work. Like Bijoy's invest his money from his savings in a different way. That he invests 30% on buying book, 10% on nutrition, 15% on wages, and 22% on purchase a bike. And after that all expenditure, he saved 4,600. Yeah, find how much he spent on bike. So by seeing this, how much he spent on bike, I'll advise you to solve these questions first and then look to the solutions. So yeah, so after looking at how much he spent on the bike, if you have understood all these part, with all these part just a second, with all these part this and this. If you have understood all these parts, then these two questions are just a matter of seconds. And if you have not understood it well, then I'll request you to just rewind the video and watch it once again. And then if then even you face difficulties in solving these questions the way I did, then I'll advise you to just put me a comment down below. I'll just make sure you get to understand by solving more and more questions. I'll do something to just make you understand. I'll try to make you understand. Obviously I can't get into your head. So yeah, let's continue with that. Now yeah, how much he spent on a bike, right? So as you could see here, we are talking about 30, 10, 15, 22. So 30, 10, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? 70, 75, 77. So 77% he used on anything. I don't care, right? He used it in anything. I don't care, simply. So yeah, he just used 77%. So now he's left with what? So now he's left with 23%. 23%. So now if he's left with 23%, I hope you remember a concept in ratios which I taught in my revision video, that if you have a ratio of something and you have given the actual value, you could just find a factor. You could just get a factor in middle. You'll get this point at my previous video of this concept ratios, and there you could get how I got this. Now yeah, from 23%. So if it's 23, from 23 you are getting like 4,600, right? So you are multiplying it with 200. You got this, right? Your multiplying factor becomes 200, right? So and I have to find that how much you spend it on your bike. Like I have to find this 22%, right? So now multiplying it again with 200, I just simply gets the answer, right? Like what it is, 4,400, and that's the answer. So I hope you understood now that even while explaining it took me I guess more than 2 minutes, right? So if I explained it within 1 or 2 minutes, so obviously anyone could solve this in seconds. Yeah, so just a second, let's clear it out. And yeah, now again the same question, that I don't know, someone's salary is 40% of the, yeah, it's an interesting question. And here also you'll encounter with the concept of ratio. If you would have seen my video, you would have came to a point where I just mentioned a point. I know it was not important there, but I told you it would be useful in other questions, right? So I was talking about the concept the related concept. So yeah, if B and C, so how could you write A is to B is to C? Now if you don't remember this thing, I just advise you to please go to that video of ratios and proportion summary. You could just type on Google that ratios and proportion summary by S. Aditya. So obviously you'll get that. So I just advise you to get that and just solve this, because if you don't apply this, it would be way longer than anything. So yeah, that sums up the today's class. I hope it's I don't know it has been too lengthy, right? So yeah, nothing could be done. And yeah, one more thing, if you want this what you could say, this image file or whatever it is, the infographics, so yeah, just I mean, you should just check my Telegram page and just subscribe to that to get all these free materials or whatever. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for today's class, and your session is over for today. Now just have fun and solve some questions. See you in the next class, probably tomorrow.